viewers. Wow, I am so happy and excited to be with you here in the studio. I'm so overwhelmed. I don't even know the right word to use to express my feelings, but I want to say I am so happy to be your anchor in this show. We've done this for a while now, and guess what? It's here. The Better You talk show with Adaeze. It's a show, and this show we're talking about potential, life in general, investment, spirituality, and lots more. And it promises to be a moment of discovering who you are, a moment of talking about truth and living a life of purpose in investment potential and much more. And that's why I would like you to visit your YouTube channel, log into Chides Media. I mean Chides Media, CHEEDAZZE. Chides Media. Log in, like, subscribe, share, comment, and hit notification button for our upcoming videos. Once again, you're welcome to Better You with Adaeze. In our series today, we'll briefly be discussing about fear of the future. And with me in the studio to discuss this topic is a very gorgeous lady. Wow. Multi-talented, a great lady with great potentials. The person of Miss Anglika Nacheta. Help me welcome into the studio, Miss Anglika.
Nacheta Anglika. I'm a writer, I'm a content developer, I'm a fashion designer, and a lover of God. And it's my privilege, a pleasure, to be in the studio with Miss Chides.
Wow, I'm so happy for honoring our invitation. You're welcome once again. Thank you. Okay, at this point, we will go for a short break, and when we are back, we will have a breakdown of the just presented topic on our table. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back to the studio. Let's go to the topic on the table, fear of the future. In this topic, we'll be discussing about fear, importance of fear, types of fear, and how to overcome the fear. So, now let's go. Ma'am, please, what can you say about this fear?
Okay, fear. What is fear? You Merriam-Webster's dictionary defined fear as an unpleasant emotion, okay, caused by the awareness of a dangerous situation. So it's basically triggered by the awareness of danger. It can be real or imagined. If you're in a place where there is a fire outbreak, it generates fear in you. And also, if you imagine, say, a robbery attack, it can also generate fear in you. So it's the body's natural response to any threatening situation or danger or any harmful person too. When you realize that someone can bother you, someone can harm you, you get scared of that person. Okay. So it can be anything. You just get scared of anything that poses a threat to your life or it's dangerous. Yes. So fear is also a profound reverence and awe for a superior authority or especially towards God. Okay. Yes. So I have the fear of God in me. I do things that please Him. I reverence my parents. I have fear for them. I respect them. Okay. So it's a kind of respect too. And then there's this anxious concern for what the future is all about. You know, some people are scared of what they don't know. Yeah. The future is unpredictable. Okay. So that is also a fear, a kind of fear. Now we have specific kinds of fear too. There's fear for water, which is aquaphobia. Okay. Some people are very scared to swim because they have that feeling that when they get into the water, they'll drown. Then there is a fear for heights. People are scared of even climbing the stairs. Yes, wow. There's the kind of fear for that. There's also zoophobia. I have that. It's a fear for animals. And I'm scared of dogs. I'm so scared of dogs because I tend to get scared because I think maybe when I go close to them, they're going to bite me. So I have zoophobia, so it's a kind of fear too.
Okay.
Those are there's also social phobia. People are scared to interact with people. They're scared to go out to events because they think they'll get embarrassed or they'll get rejected. They don't fit into the society.
Okay.
Now there is xenophobia, fear of foreigners, fear of strange situations, foreign situations. So these are the kind of fears that we have.
Okay, wow, that's a good one. Also, to add to that, have panic attack. That's a situation where um, you experience some or witness some terrifying sight, and you're afraid of to encounter such mistakes
Yes.
or such sight, or to, like, for instance, you have experienced a fire outbreak, and you are like, oh, I don't want to experience this, or a family of yours have experienced the fight outbreak, whether it's armed robbery attack. You know, there's some armed robbery that can be very terrifying.
Yeah,
They
very
shot
true.
gun at you. It's very
Yes.
it's not worth
Yeah.
saying. So you are like afraid of experiencing such things. So that's what we have for the panic attack. Okay, now so let's go to the importance of fear, or the importance of fear. What can you say about the importance of fear?
Okay, fear actually helps you to stay alert.
Okay.
You know, when you're aware of danger around you, you become alert. It puts you in that fight or flight mode where you have to run or defend yourself.
Okay.
It also helps you to take precaution.
Okay.
You know, it's the fear of getting burned that restrains you for putting your hand in fire.
Exactly.
It's the fear of being hit by an oncoming vehicle that makes you to instinctively look both ways before crossing the road. So it helps you to take precaution. Now, fear also propels you to make decisions. It will push you out of your comfort zone. It will make you to plan ahead of time. You have an exam to write and you're scared, you're afraid to fail. You have that fear of failure. What do you have to do? You study hard. So fear actually makes you to take a decision that is worthwhile, and it also makes you to work harder to achieve life goals. So those are the importance of fear.
Wow, that's good. And also to add is we have fear of mistake. That the situation whereby you're afraid to make a mistake, you're afraid to attempt something. Maybe your friend tread the path your forefathers traded, or you're afraid to make a wrong choice in a career
Yes.
or in a marital aspect. So, for example, in this aspect, let's go to the marital around area, you are afraid, lived in their society where there is so much divorce, so much single mothers,
Yeah.
and broken homes.
Yes.
And here lies a young lady, comes a young lady who is afraid to make the same kind of mistake,
Yeah.
and is afraid to marry a young man who can probably, maybe because of the children will not experience the same kind of thing other children are passing through, and he's actually afraid to walk into the institution of marriage. This is could be very disheartening.
Yes.
But God will help us.
Yeah.
And also in the career aspect, you're afraid if you have a friend, and this friend of yours have studied medicine, and he is into surgery, and for some reasons he was operating on a patient, and he had a mistake, and the patient died. And you, a young man who is want to go in the same direction, is afraid of, what if I'm in the situation, and I make the same mistake, what will become of me? And that makes you are like, I don't want to enter. And it also deprives you. What if maybe that's where God is calling you to impart into life in that aspect, and you're like, I don't want to go. So it deprives you of the benefit you get from God, and also to save souls, because God might want you to save lives from that direction. But
Yes.
okay, that was a good one. Okay, now let's go to fear of the future. What can you say about fear of the future or fear of the unknown?
All right, fear of the future. The future is unknown, so it's basically fear of the unknown. Okay. Now, fear of the unknown is caused by negative. It's generally caused by negative thinking. Yes, when you visualize your future being gloomy,
Okay.
being bleak
Okay.
because of the situation around us.
Yeah.
So you're afraid, okay, how can I thrive in this circumstance? How can I become better? What if I don't achieve my dreams? What if I don't become what I want to be? What if I fail? What if I become poor? What if I don't even get the money I'm striving to get now? What if my education is baseless? Now that's everything, all these thoughts generate fear of the unknown. So it's basically what people fear, uncertainties. So people fear unknown because they are not sure of their abilities to handle challenges in the future. They are not sure if when a situation that is dangerous comes up, they can handle it, they can actually defeat that situation. So this builds up fear in them.
Yeah.
So that's what fear of the unknown is all about.
Oh, wow, that's a good one.
Yes.
Okay, also to add, we have fear of mistake. This comes where you're afraid of what your mistake your forefathers did, or you're afraid to make a wrong choice in career or marriage wise,
Yes.
or kind of afraid to fail or something as you earlier said. Okay, so now for example, let's in the career wise, when we talk about how we have for instance, you have a friend, and that your friend has studied medicine, and then he's a surgeon, and then for some reasons he was doing operation and made a mistake,
Okay.
and the patient dies. You know how disgusting could be,
Okay.
and the parents or the relatives of the patient comes and arrests him or her and is being in prison for few years, and you have the same urge or perception to go into this surgery or to be to be a medical doctor,
Okay.
and you've listened to this, or is your very close friend and you heard about it, so you now have this like I don't want to go into it, I don't make the same mistake
Yeah.
which he or she has done. And it may be that God wants you to actually go in that direction or that area to save life.
Yes.
And to because of that you are like,
No,
I don't want to.
want to.
Yeah, God will help us. And also in the career wise, in the marriage wise, sorry, you are watching our society now. We have a lot of broken homes,
Yes.
single
Very
mothers,
true.
divorce everywhere.
Yes.
Divorce is even rampant, like
Yes.
everybody, pastors, everywhere, everyone divorcing now. And you as a young mind, you are a young man or a young woman, you're afraid of going into marriage because of these certain reasons. And you're like, what if I get married and this happened to my children? And what if I get married and at the point my husband says he doesn't want me anymore? What if I get married and like you at the point of maybe the parents die, or like those kind of things that you're like, I don't want to bring some fear in you, and
Yes.
I don't want to go into marriage. Oh, and you're like, I don't want to attempt this, I don't want to go into the institution of marriage. You want to just remain single.
Yeah.
But has not God will help us. And okay, now let's go into what can you now say. There are some we have elaborated on the fear, important,
The types.
and the types. So in this situation where person have this kind of fear, that fear of going into marriage, or fear of career, or fear of failure. So what can such person do to overcome this fear?
Okay, so we said fear is an emotion. There's also what I call fear thought. Now, how I overcome these fears is when this fear thought comes into my mind, I weaken them with anti-fear thoughts. And what are those anti-fear thoughts? They are positive thoughts. Now, when a fear thought comes up and says, "Oh, what if you fail this exam?" And you have to generate at that point. You do not allow the fear thought to linger. At that point, you generate an anti-fear thought that will come as, "What if I actually succeed?" If a fear thought is saying, "What if you don't achieve your dreams?" You'll be like, "Okay, people have achieved dreams. I can actually do that." So those positive thoughts will weaken your fear thoughts, and then There are also instances where you have to use words,
Okay.
positive words,
Okay.
to quench those fears. You have to speak out and reaffirm,
Wow.
to allay those fears.
Okay.
So those are the methods you can actually use to overcome your fears.
Okay.
Now, there's also accepting failure. We talked about fear of failure.
Yeah.
Yes, we talked about fear of failure. You have to accept that failure is not something that will break you.
Okay.
Rather, it can make you. I will tell you of a story of uh, my story. I had about last 2 years ago, I was to recite the 119th chapter of Psalm. It has 176 verses. And so I was to recite it and I was to memorize it, offhand.
Yeah.
So at that point, I had to memorize 8 verses each day. And while I did that with this fear of me failing, because how would you stand in front of people and then you reciting a chapter of the verse with 176 verses? It's a scary thing to do, like it's humanly impossible.
Yeah.
But I decided to take up that challenge. But while I was doing that, I was afraid of failing. The fear of failing overshadowed me, it overwhelmed me. And you know what happened? On that day, I did not even recite up to half.
I can imagine that.
Of that. I felt so bad. And I felt so bad. But after that time, about a year later, that competition came up again. But what did I do? On the norms, I should have said, "Oh, please, I don't want to do this again."
Yeah.
I failed the last time, but I did not allow that fear to defeat me.
Okay.
What did I do? I learned from my mistake. I did that scared, but this time around, I memorized the 176 verses with confidence. I told myself I can do this. I'm going to stand in front of people. I'm going to recite 176 verses. And you know what? On that day, I did it.
Wow.
And I was proud of myself. So
Wow.
it's a lesson that you don't need to allow fear to break you completely.
Exactly.
You should allow it to be a propelling factor in achieving your goals.
Exactly.
Yes.
Wow. That was a very, very, very great one. Okay, also to add to that, we'll talk about fear or shame. Maybe you see you are free to attempt for in the case of unwanted pregnancy, young lady, you see what's going around in our generation now, even at 12, like at 11, at 12, people are getting pregnant.
It's a norm.
And then you are like, you as a young mind, as a young lady, want to want to avoid this. So I think the solution and overcoming aspect of this is just to maintain chest.
Yes.
You should be afraid, like that thing should tell me that, oh, I have a target, I have a vision, I have great potentials in me. I shouldn't allow this thing to cut me off from my area or what God wants me to be. So I rather remain just and wait for the right time.
Yes.
And also in academic excellence, fear of academic success. Actually, I had that kind of experience over there when I was in school.
Okay.
Secondary school. It was really, really embarrassing. I was writing WASI. That was the first time I was writing my WASI, and I had this. I was so afraid. Like, what will become of me if I fail this? If I fail, and I was very though quiet. I was so popular in the school. Can you imagine?
Oh.
And I was so very popular in the school, and everybody wants to, like, what will become of this lady? What will
Looking
become
up to
of
you, want to know your scores.
Exactly, that kind of thing.
Alright.
What will become of this girl? But because of that fear in me, I failed.
Oh.
But I thank God I tried again. That's where the point here. Trying again. Don't give up on yourself.
Yes.
Try again. I tried again, and it came out for a fact. That was the best result I had.
Wow.
And very best. I was just so proud. I was just blushing. Like,
Wow.
that day. So that's the way the point comes. Trying again.
Yes.
You don't need to give up on yourself. Just keep trying. Like, for instance, you heard of the Brigade, the one that tried and want to invest something and tried about 99 times, and the 100th one he was able to fail. Though 99 times he failed, but the 100th one he succeeded whatever he's doing. So there is hope in trying. Just keep up trying. You are endowed, and just keep on trying. So that's the trying. When you keep on trying and trying to motivate yourself with, as you said, positive words, and look yourself in the mirror,
Affirm.
affirming yourself, praising yourself. You
Yeah.
don't need to allow people, somebody to praise you. That thing you are specialized in, just try it and then tell yourself I can do it, and you see yourself getting to
And
that.
also, when we talk about fear of dejection,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
you need to constantly tell yourself that you can do it. You need to
Exactly.
reaffirm that
From
you built with so many potentials, and so it's a gift you have. You have to give it out to the world.
exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
and also your friends matter in
Exactly.
this.
That aspect is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Where you should have a good network of
Of
friends,
friends,
people that
yes,
motivate you. Get a
yeah.
mentor. For instance, me, that really helped me. In fact, that was
Okay.
really what helped me to get to this height I am. I
Wow.
had a very good mentor who, till now, I'm still proud of him. Like
Mm.
anywhere he is, like my God, he really worked hard on me, and he's still working till now.
Wow.
And he was the one that helped me to, like, he was keeping on my toes. I'm like,
Yeah, it pushed
Ada,
you.
Ada, come on, come on, come on. So that really pushed me to become what I am today. And I think that's the best part. That's the best
Mm-hmm.
solution
Yes.
to whosoever that, because you might at some point in time in that aspect you can maybe you're afraid. So this mentor will now motivate
Push
you,
you.
encourage you. If it's
Yes.
prayer, you pray for you and tell you
Yeah.
you can do it.
Yeah.
And then as far as when you have somebody at your back that is motivating you, other thing doesn't matter.
Yes.
So because you have a backup. So
Mm-hmm.
that's really important. Yeah, that's very, very important.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Hmm.
It's been so very nice today, and I'm
Yes.
so grateful for you coming into our studio. Wow.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, now out to all the audience and our viewers, our final words is that you are endowed with great potentials, and God has embedded into every one of us to give to the world, and
Yes.
we are to shine.
Mm-hmm.
We are not to be afraid of our future. We are to come up and then deliver those things God has given to us. So I will urge you to come up, be you, discover what you have inside you, and get up on your knees, on your toes, and walk towards it. So, once again, I say thank you all for viewing. Bye. See you some other time.